Hello Hexicans. Welcome to the Hex Guild. How is everyone doing? Sorry for the long intro. I was hoping Davin would join. Um, Hopefully, he will join a little later. Um, First of all, if you haven't already, please share the live stream. Please try and get some more attention to this group. My camera is not working very well. I want to turn it off, but then you will be staring at a blank screen, kind of. But first of all, welcome to our regular listeners, Hexwood, Crypto Truth. So I read on Twitter he was in a accident. A speedy recovery to him, but he's taken it very positively. He says he's feeling alive and motivated. Good to hear. Life is full of promise and opportunity. Our demeanor and disposition determine our direction. I I try and avoid alliteration at all costs, but kind of poetic, I would say. Uh, it appears I am going to be the only one leading this stream, and it's going to be a bit boring, I guess. Davin had a he runs, I think, three channels: Hex Futures, his own permaculture channel, this one. He had a live stream yesterday regarding chanting mantras, and I said, please don't chant random mantras which you haven't heard or know the meaning of from the internet. Like, and why do you want to do that? uh, See, every mantra has its own connotations, and plus, you if you are a Christian, then it is directly taboo. It's you cannot take any name in front ahead of your own God, so it's taboo. But the thing is, it's like before using those mantras, you have to be like there are procedures and you need to follow. You need, like, if you can't go in there after having yeah, a cheeseburger, you and then you practice yoga. It doesn't work that way. Anyways, I'm rambling because I am not quite sure where to go with this. First of all, I wanted to create a good thumbnail. I didn't come up with a good title or thumbnail for this live stream because uh, just because then I was suggested by Run of Tea by as to discuss fermented foods in general. So I was the first fermented food that came to my mind was cheese, and so I wanted to create a kind of a, so the title I used was a solar punk cheese factory, and the AI generator gave me the image in the thumbnail, which is kind of nice, but it doesn't look like a cheese factory. And this is what I'm thinking, like, this is the pinnacle of technology. We are taking on high technology, or the technology or the AI is high. That is, it is called as AI hallucinations. Like, it comes up with stuff which makes no sense, but sometimes those hallucinations do make sense to us, and sometimes they are beautiful. I'm trying to I did listen to a course on YouTube regarding prompt engineering, or what what is in meme terms called prompt engineering. So like, but it's all of no real use, because like the AI is being optimized so that it can take in normal language, while prompt engineering is trying to make it more specific. So either way, it's not necessary to do anything as such, but AI is definitely changing life course. Where I see people are dropping off chat. I don't mind that. Thank you, whoever joined in. If you have any specific questions, please do mention it in chat. If you haven't already, join us in the Hex Guild Telegram group, which will, well, the discussions there are quite lively, to say the least. I can't disclose say these things on YouTube, but yeah, apparently there is a influencer who is being whose channel got demonetized on YouTube, because he was charged, charged with allegations, but we don't know whether the allegations are true yet. Yeah, YouTube breached the simple principle of innocent until proven guilty. Look, I don't say he is innocent. He may be, but just because he was talking against Bill Gates doesn't mean that he's being specifically targeted for that. It might, like, remember, humans are capable of both good and bad. Doing good once or twice doesn't mean that you cannot do bad things. Just, I wanted to give an extreme example, but people get offended by it, so I will sh- keep quiet. But there is, the best example given would be that of a German guy, who, now he did a lot of donations, he did a lot for his country, building up his country, yeah, but no one can say he was a good person, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like that. Don't like that is another thing I've been seeing lately. Like, eh, not even lately. It has been. I've been observing this for a long time. Like, people take uh, evidence which favors their point of view more readily than that which opposes their view. you know it's already like, even though I kind of prepared here, but I was hoping to have a little banter, so I haven't made a like a monologue to be done on stream, which I kind of which kind of makes me think I should have done that if I was aware that no, I would be the only one live streaming. We were going on the topic of high technology. I so, the other thing that is going on in the techno revolution is currently known as techno feudalism. If you haven't heard about it, search for it. There is a new book written by Varoufakis. He's a good writer. He has also written an excellent book regarding the essentials of game theory. So I like the guy. Even though uh, uh, no, I have just, I didn't get a 10. I have just taken out my changed my exosuit so that this one suits the lighting better, I guess. But what was it? Yes, techno feudalism is true, and we are seeing many examples of it. Like they are not even trying to hide it. First example I wanted to discuss was regarding X.com itself. If you are like everybody uses Twitter, did anyone, was there any kind of consensus regarding? Mm, Sorry, I have to before I get this go. I have to address this question in chat. Um you need green candles. Y- I hope you are aware that in the Eastern Hemisphere, red candles are taken as positive, and white candles or transparent candles are taken as negative. So basically, yeah, I prefer red candles. It's all part of your conventions, just like you usually use the Cartesian convention, which always uses the positive side to be on the right. uh, Sometimes it doesn't mean that you cannot use keep the positive side on the left. Same way, green candles, red candles are more auspicious for us. And by the way, like, yeah, the bear market is still not over, though. We had the FOMC meeting just a few hours ago, and they declared that there is not going to be change in the change in the interest rates, which is kind of a good idea, good news, but not really. The interest rates are quite high, mm, which is like doesn't really change anything to be exact. And I wanted to like point that out, that usually it is taken that high interest rates means people aren't able to borrow as much, so businesses cannot expand or hire more employees, therefore unemployment increases. But I have a different opinion to it. But overall, it may see the market predicted that the rates will not be raised at least or decreased. So that kind of, when market predictions go right, it's always a good thing. So we may see a bit of a pump in the market, but we are not still out of the bear market as of now. We have to wait for like Q3 results, then we can go there. But we were talking about techno feudalism, like, and what Yanis Varoufakis discusses, and which I concur with. All of these platforms have been converted into fiefs, F FIEF, yeah, and or fiefdoms, with one feudal lord controlling everything. he wait a minute. Where's Eco and Finbear? Uh, I have no idea. These, I think they have forgotten that the stream is supposed to be today. They are, but I shared the link to them in Telegram, and in I also tweeted out the video. So I don't know. Maybe you can give them a call. I think Ego Builder is kind of traveling. Oh, speak of the devil, and the devil is supposed to appear. Yep. How are
What's
you?
up?
How are you? I
Good.
was just holding up the fort, waiting for you to arrive.
The
Uh,
tent fort, holding up the sheets
yep.
in the living room. What's up, Trap? What's up, Johnny? Xwood. Truth. Do we have a topic today?
So, so I was rambling on for like 15 minutes earlier. I don't want to repeat what I've said so far, but maybe you can go back and watch the. I was talking lot of bad stuff about you in the first 5 minutes, so revisit it and listen to it in. But I was talking about mainly how all of these.
It's
I
Machiavelli.
think Johnny is joining us under a pseudonym, but should
It's
we let him
Machiavelli.
in
It's Machiavelli.
or uh, let's see? I think, but
Let the guy in.
let's see
It is your buddy, Maharaji.
who's
Namaste.
who is Namaste. Om Om Namah Shivaya.
Yamana Yana Yamaha.
Zoom.
Uh, what's up? What's up?
What's up?
Uh, so he has kept his. I was talking about how all these platforms, be it X.com, YouTube, and less so on Telegram, Facebook, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they have become like these feudal states with one man leading the, or a feudal lord on top of everyone, and he gets to decide what is what you get to see on their platform, that just one single man. The best example I wanted to give was regarding the X.com takeover. Like, it was Elon's wish to change the name. Nobody really wanted to like give up 15 years of building up the brand value of Twitter, and then one guy comes in. No, from today it's called X. No, nobody of you plebs don't get to decide anything. So that was, and what they did, there was this Twitter handle at X. Some guy had already made that account like years ago, and when the platform changed its name, he was like, I need $1 million to uh, like give up my profile to you. What did X do? They deleted that account immediately and made their own new account. So one guy decides everything. You have no control. We are going into a feudal system, and yes, if you, that is a total different thing to discuss, like symbolism with X. X is
It
where
is.
the tech. But if you, I can't bring up that picture. I had it somewhere. But if you join the X logo side by side, then it gives a logo which is very commonly understood, or eh, mostly recognized as that of a group which is supposed to have, yeah,
The
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 compass and the square.
yeah, the compass and the square. So that's kind of symbolism is again
I've heard of
there.
it like with the double cross as well. That's from the Jesuit symbol is the double cross. The X's.
okay.
I've been pontificating about that quite a.
So a cross with another cross, and then turn it on its side, and it's two X's.
Hmm.
Well, that's not what he's
He-
talking about. He's talking about the compass and the square.
Right.
If you mirror it, but just all this X symbolism keeps coming up. It's pretty wild. But I mean, it was Elon had it first for the SpaceX thing, and then PulseX got it because it was nifty, and then we've got X.com now, and Exxon Mobil's been around before all that, and then like the what was it, the 23andMe logo was like the exact same thing as PulseX. If you look at the 23andMe logo, it's like the exact same symbol as PulseX.
I think it's
I
interesting that we now have Twitter and X. Like everybody knows what you're talking about with both.
Well, yeah, everyone's saying like both of them. Like they say X, or formerly known as Twitter, or better known as Twitter. It's like a transitioning phase. And sooner or later, people are just going to know it as X. But people are still referencing the blue bird for whatever reason. I forget the symbolism and all that, but all types of symbolism with logos and all that. There's a stream topic. We just talk about logos.
Yeah, you're right. The 23andMe, it's a red line down and a green line up on the X.
Yeah, I just saw that randomly. I was like, what in the?
X is on ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. Sorry, I can't pronounce it right now, but you get the point. Hieroglyphs, right? Hieroglyphs at the Temple of Man, alongside with a picture of a guy with a large dick.
Hey,
So,
6-inch decks is enough. Stop being greedy, Hexicanos.
yeah, iPhone skipped. Uh, uh, iPhone skipped 9 and then went to X, which brought up Face ID. But everybody, everybody knew why they skipped uh, iPhone 9. Do you know? Like, it was a joke on who is that? Ellen Degenerate. She did the joke. Why did they skip iPhone 9? Because the 7, 8, 9. That's
Yeah, I've heard
a
of it.
very bad.
Why why
Yeah.
the square and the compass skip 10, because 10 is like the divine number, and like so they like purposely use the symbolism of 9/11 to like insult God. So
Me.
Isn't 11
Yes,
heaven?
we are.
So hey, I brought up a
Mm,
visual.
yeah.
That's what the 23andMe logo looks like.
Are they? I heard of it because they were doing. It's supposed to be like the trade is like green and red, right? But I guess that was flipped around. That was green going down. I didn't really look at it too good.
Green's going up.
Oh yeah, so it is the same as like Pulse X with the trading. I don't know why. I mean, I think that's almost like telling you ahead of time. It's like, yeah, eventually we're gonna be selling your fucking DNA. We're gonna buy and sell your DNA. I mean, they already are. Pretty sure they
planning a
got like
civilization.
they got caught like or they got hacked or something. So all of the DNA was just like leaked. So they can put that into some. I can only imagine using people's DNA against themselves. All that's like the social dilemma nonsense. That stuff's so terrifying. But yeah, 23andMe's. Neat stuff. I forget the guy. There was like a competition or whatnot of like getting the logo down for the Pulse X, I think. And I think he just got it. Some guy he did the Pulse logo, and then they just let him do the 23andMe logo. I don't know who the guy was, but it was. I'm sure Richard tweeted about it or something. That'd be interesting. I'd like to have that guy on a show. Where'd he get that logo from?
Probably while he was doing meditation.
Yeah, he pulled it straight out of the what is the cloud, the Akashic record cloud.
So now that I mentioned incubating a civilization, I wanted to catch people up on this project that kind of got some energy behind it, but yet the property did not work out. So this is out in East Texas. It's at a town, it's a very small town with like 1,200 people called Hemp Hill. And there for a little while, Moondog, that's over in Houston, who's a part of the Texas and Guild here, he was entertaining the idea that we could borrow or use or take over this piece of property that was a little bit dilapidated, and it's in it's one block from their courthouse, so it's in the downtown area, and there's restaurants and grocery in the area. So I thought it would be a great place to have a hex house. Just imagine what hex house could be. So I think Trap brought up that name first, hex house. But whatever the case, this property is now demolished, and so it's a clean slate. Maybe we would be able to go forward with some trailers on it for a temporary time. But the reason why the real estate folks, the real estate group demolished it is because it was starting to come up to the time where the city wants to encapsulate it in a like claim that it's historic, and then start to put restrictions on what you can do to it in the future and how you can modify it and stuff. So they didn't want to take the chance. They just wanted to get rid of it to where it's an open slate for new construction later on. Anyway, that is the progress of that. Not really sure where we're going to go from here, but I'm going to ask them to pitch me some more properties going forward. And the idea is that we just have some hexagons that won't kill each other, however, would create some drama and do some outreach, and maybe we could all learn and be entertained and put the show on YouTube. I'm sure we have plenty of people in the community who would participate in the editing, and as well as the physical stars, I guess. But we've got so much stuff going on in this community that there's never a calm day anyway. So thanks for that commercial.
How many hectares?
It's a downtown environment, so it's probably half of a hectare.
Huh.
Half a hectare
What is that?
in Texas.
Yeah, it's not meant for like, hey, we're gonna start growing trees there or do a grow operation. Instead, like, it would just be dormitories, everybody's filmed, and have like a scheduled event to go to every week or something. And this certain thing was already set up to be 10 apartments, 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom. And so my idea was to delete 2 of the apartments in the front for a great room, and then 2 of the apartments in the front or the middle for a kitchen, um, to have it to where there were these social places inside of that building. But there's restaurants and groceries right around the corner down the street that I figure if we allowed somebody some per diem or something, that would get them out and about and have fun.
Awfully interesting. But that thing's gone, and now it's just cleared out of there.
Yeah, it's a blank slate now, piece of property.
It'd be nice. I mean, to start out without putting any money in, just to host like a what is that called? Like a farm sale thing where people bring produce to like just set that up.
So there was a farmer's market,
Farmer's market.
a block over your left shoulder as you're looking over that, or as you were looking at the property. And then there was a coffee shop, which in small towns, coffee shops are very important. They're like your new town square where everybody can chat it up. So that was just a block and a half down to the right. The coffee shop was, and then there's like a bar and grill, caddy corner to it on the other side of the square. So I thought it was a great little place. And then it's kind of like in the vicinity of some lakes or a lake. So there's a lot of lake culture there, because actually the lake that's out east of this, it spreads north and south like 100 miles at least. So there's a lot of recreation happening in that area, and lakeside grills and stuff, and sort of isolated to where we really get to splash around and show off cryptocurrency to people.
That's what's up. I've never been to Texas.
There's a lot of different regions of Texas.
I'd have to biolocate, like your boy Miraji. But so you're planning on doing that for like housing and just so like kind of what you got at your other place where it's just like you got it set up.
Out there was just going to be like a real world filming, in real life thing. The place that I have down here, that needs to capitalize on its location. So that eventually is going to be a bar.
Oh yeah, I've seen like your lives and stuff there. Tuned in. Got it set up. Set up for the tunes. But that's awesome.
Pull up a video that I have on my phone. showing what's in the front windows right now. So you know the meanies? The meanies are coming. The meanies are coming.
It sounds a little familiar.
That was the Beatles, the Yellow Submarine.
Oh, okay.
Cartoon. So that's what my space looks like right now. I just wanted to show that I put the meanies, the graphic of the meanie in the window, but I said the Bitcoin are coming. The Bitcoin are coming. Because I'm trying to like lay it down. And, you know, if you said like, oh, the PRC, the ERC tokens are coming, like people wouldn't understand that. I'm attempting to get their attention with this. So I hope you all respect that.
Yeah, for the normies that wouldn't otherwise not know anything about crypto, like they're not even going to recognize Ethereum, but they've heard of Bitcoin or that symbol, the B thing.
Totally. People, I think whenever it gets mentioned on mainstream TV, then they say Bitcoin often. So just opening that door just a little bit. I tell people in this area, if anybody has an A&M hat on, like Texas A&M, the Maroon Aggies, it would be easy to ask them, hey, did you know that, because they're so proud of their school. So, hey, did you know that Bitcoin is being taught in a lecture hall over there at A&M? And then that right there will either say, you know, it'll open the door in some way. I was starting to think about all the different fractals that they could go into. But if it is that you guys are willing to give me an address to send some cards to, I could give you some cards that then whenever you're out in public, it makes it that much easier to fortify your beliefs in passing people information, and we can rise up together in this marketing idea. But the more you talk about something, the better you get at dealing with it out in society. And that's what I would like to press or distribute this this courage. It's cardstock courage, not liquid courage, but cardstock courage.
Yeah, I try to tell people that I think would understand, but a lot of people, like most people, can't even begin to comprehend. It's just like, I don't know, not too many people do stocks or have the I don't know. Some people just don't save or think about investing at all. And then to do the technical stuff with them is just like, yikes. But some people can pick up on it, but it's not everybody. We have to take time to actually, like, because if you send money to the wrong address, like that's not going to be a fun experience for anyone involved. So it takes a certain type of person that actually takes like the interest of money into their mind more. They're not just looking to work for the rest of their life. They want to understand how money works and have it work for them for the rest of their life.
I think that's the key right there, is have your money work for you. And do you have enough diligence to follow up on the idea that you could have your money work for you after it is that you get off your job at 5:00 in the afternoon? Do you go and seek further knowledge of how to further yourself. Um, what I often do is ask somebody, like, do you have Acorn account? Do you have um, Robinhood account? Do you have Coinbase account? Um, a lot of the Asians do have Coinbase accounts, at least the Asians that are walking the streets around here. I have found out. But yeah, if it is that they say that they have a Robinhood account, I'll say, did you look at the crypto portion of that? And then if so, um, did you know that you can't send, or those aren't your coins? If something happens to it, you can't
I,
get that
I
out.
got I got a quick question. Is India in Asia?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. If you speak of Asia geographically, then India is a part of Asia. But normally, Indians is not what comes to mind when you speak of, say, someone is Asian. So Indians is a separate. I would say Indians are a separate ethnicity, if that would be put more accurately. But yeah, India is. I want Indians to be included among Asians, but I have no control over it. So, anyways,
Yeah, I was just wondering if when he said Asian, he meant Indians because India is in Asia. Would that be considered an Indian or an Asian?
For some reason, yesterday I went through that same thought as I was talking or typing or something. So you kind of just streamlined in something that I had dealt with recently.
That's funny. Yeah.
Hey, have y'all been asking ChatGPT things? Like, I just asked about my family lineage, so now I have places in Scotland to go to.
I'm I'm convinced
uh,
that AI is like not a good thing because I've watched The Matrix too many times. I figure AI is like Mr. Smith.
It's funny, like you can talk it into a corner, and then it has to admit to you, yes, the governments are doing these experiments, blah blah blah.
With the AI.
But otherwise, they won't tell you.
Oh my.
uh, you know, my stance so far is AI is good, uh, and like I got bored regarding asking it questions after a few days, so I rarely do. But the funny thing is why I feel most of media and most companies are like totally dystopian regarding AI is it will take the jobs of all middle management. So they are forcing their
Like
workers to,
like Parliament.
yeah, uh, like w- w- because see all that middle now I wanted to go into it, like there was also a good video regarding discussing this topic, like why middle managers are required. But it's a YouTube channel called How Money Works. It's one of its latest videos why actually, like, for corporations middle management is necessary and why middle managers will be there for a long time.
Was
And then
was
of course he goes to shill his course on something else. But the my point is all middle managers do is make reports and like say yes to their uh, yeah, this is the channel, like
On
but
the screen.
mm, It's not a hexagon channel, so I am not promoting it as such. But yeah, so
Did you watch this
uh,
one? What is the end game to real estate?
yeah, yeah, like this one, and I that's what I like wanted to point out that
Oh, there's your little baby.
technology, yeah, if yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
What was I saying? Yeah, technology is good. Yeah, like rather I want to say technology in itself cannot be good or bad. It's how it's going to be used, and AI, like, just for example, this video stream, like, if it was like even 1 year ago, like creating this thumbnail, this would have taken me like at least the whole week to make this thumbnail in whichever Illustrator or Corel Draw. But now I can generate it in few seconds, and these kind of things are happening. And yeah, middle managers mainly do only one thing, that is generate reports, and like gathering a troops kind of thing is supposed to be done, but they don't really help. They are usually what are known as taskmasters. That means they do supervision of work that doesn't need supervision. Like, the work is going to be done anyways, so AI may take out those jobs, and that's why they are all opposing it. um, and see, I think, like, my personal belief is they have kept the things, or rather image generation, such that it can be identified. And by the way, now if you are using the Microsoft image generator on Bing or in Edge browser, it also has metadata attached to it, so it knows what is the source of the image. If you like, so it can be used to track the source of the image. If you are going to post something derogatory, I would say, then the image can be traced back to you. Or if your image is used for creating deep fakes or something like that, uh, yeah, the image can be tracked. Again, this is the techno tyranny that is coming up. But yeah, I would hand the mic to Eco Builder to talk about his upcoming meetup for dolphins and sharks.
Ha ha ha. So yesterday I had the idea of just we're manufacturing dolphins. These are great prices to make some dolphins. Um, so I calculated how many shares it would be to make a dolphin, and I screwed up. It was actually how many shares it would be to be a shark, because, like, T for T shares stands for trillions. So I wanted to write it all out, and that's where I got confused. I started just attaching to this number instead of thinking about, well, wait a minute, it's 9,900 something T shares for a shark right now, and it's 900 something for a dolphin right now. We've just gone right below that 1,000 T shares for a dolphin. But anyway, some people caught my math, including Johnny here in the chat. And then I made one for the sharks. So these are both AI. This one I photoshopped over the top of it in order to make it hexy. But this other one that I posted first, manufacturing dolphins. I think the prompt for this was like, the year is 2050. We're manufacturing dolphins in a futuristic futuristic facility on the edge of a bay on a volcano island or something. And I I always get depressed. Like the AI always generates things that are a little bit dark. So I said, starting with light, and then blah 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 with the dolphin one here. But then this shark inside of a warehouse was the prompt, about the same. Notice the floor is wet. Um, the people don't have faces. But yeah, this is what you can do real quick with the Microsoft image creator.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Silly,
can.
silly, ugly. What are your takes on it? Because you've had more
Look,
experience.
Did he?
it is definitely identifiable that you used it, because I use Microsoft generator. Like I could tell that you use the same software. You can also figure out whether somebody used Mid Journey, which is the other lead runner, or some. There are variations of like the core open source image generator DALI, which is like, and all these others are created on top of them. Then there is SDL, I guess, which is uh, far the latest one. I'm trying to get it, but it takes a lot of like resource, in the sense of it require takes um, the GPU processing it requires. Even though I do have it, but I don't want to like heat up my computer as much. It kills the like so that was one thing. And like Raymond Ramoon or Raymond, remember, somebody still programs the AI contrary to common understanding. AI is not censorship resistant. Quite the contrary, I think. Yes, and I hope people are aware of this. Like when ChatGPT came out, it was already kind of, it is even now it is kind of censored. Like if you ask something like uh, uh, write a joke uh, uh, against a particular community, then it refuses to write that. That's the so they had this kind of reverse engineered it, like prompt engineering. Like imagine you are speaking as a different agent altogether. It was called Dan, that is do anything now, and they were able to get weird answers. But the thing is, AI, it's how it works is it's difficult to explain in short, but it does kind of does work on a set of data that is already been present. And when it doesn't get any data regarding what you want to search for, it comes up with probabilistic answers which may or may not be true. So it's kind of sometimes it gives out random stuff. um, what I was getting at with that is, but the more you use it, the better it becomes, and slowly people are going to reverse engineer it to do better stuff. And hopefully, like people would be getting rid of menial tasks, at least, like because eco builder, he knows what a CAD monkey is. Like those jobs
Yeah,
can
exactly.
be like, it doesn't require that brain. Humans shouldn't be sitting there doing that stuff. It can be delegated. And if you guys This is the tech news I wanted to talk about because it's the hype right now. Did you guys hear about the Unity game engine? I suppose you guys are out of the loop regarding it. So Unity game engine is one of the, I think, the top three game engines used for developing AAA games. So they just released their latest decision that they are going to be charging per user download for a game that crosses 250 uh, k revenue. So all the major games which use Unity, and I think like Genshin Impact is the first one I can think about, and it's a huge game. Like it makes monthly millions of dollars. So they are going to be charging per download, which means a lot of small studios which use their tool will be like suffering losses, or either that, or they will be pushing their costs onto their users, which again will negatively affect their games. But why? The game engine, once if it's done, like it's for example, Adobe starts charging you how many per image you modify using Photoshop. It's kind of that kind of thing, and there are more like crazy things going on. Like we are finding out that it's because they want to kill, like they acquired a analytics company, which, so they are trying to kill their the competitor to that analytical company by implementing these kind of things. But people have come up with a solution to it, that the coding for, they are trying to like port games which are in Unity to a new engine, either which is the Unreal Engine, or the later the open source one is Godot, or Godot. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but so they are using ChatGPT to take all the code and translate it into the language which is useful for like port the game from Unity to Godot. And it's amazing, like what would have taken a developer, like even though it's like, again, it's like a cat monkey kind of job where you are just copy and pasting code, but what would have taken a developer maybe weeks can be done in minutes. So yeah, so these things are happening, uh, and I am kind of always optimistic. Like I they I people are to, I think it was whether it was Johnny or whether it was Trap, or maybe Maharaji here who was talking about this. Like they are spreading this doom and gloom to get your frequency down, and the frequency of the whole planet down, so that they can easily rule over you. I don't. So be positive. I think I rambled a little bit too much. I hope I made sense, or it could have been just my confabulations. I will keep quiet for a little while.
I
I
heard
still don't. I
Star.
still, I still don't know who plays video games. Is it like just people in their mom's basement, or are there grown adults who play video games nonstop? Like,
That was one of the first things that Richard like talked about a lot. It was like grinding games, like the youth and young men, like, and himself and other people. I used to play fucking Call of Duty like too much, for sure. And then I was getting into is it Rocket League. Like, you can play some of these games just like so much, and then like some of the other ones is like they can spend so much on skins. Like, it's like this NFT like thing. It's like you can just live in this what's Ready Player One reality in a video game and stuff. Like, people are really into that. It's
Yeah.
something to get over.
I just never see them on the street, I guess.
Well, because they're at home playing video games.
Yeah, there is one store that popped up in a shopping center that's like the gaming center, and I don't think there's anybody in there. I think also that the first edition, the first version of this company failed, and so like the next guy who thinks it's a great idea came in. So like, would you go to a place and pay $25 an hour to play their high streaming games, or would you just, have your setup for $75 set up there at your house?
Yeah, it's like they used to have arcades, like before you could have the game at your house. Like, I don't
And
know.
now arcades are just social environments where like
Yeah.
they'll serve you beer.
Yeah, like what's the Dave and Buster's or whatever. I've never
Mhm.
been to a Five Guys, but or like Chuck E. Cheese, Chuck E. Cheese for adults, like whatever. But yeah, a lot of people would rather not leave their homes, I would suppose. I don't know. Take advantage before they try to do it again. Oh my
So
god.
bringing the conversation back to using AI to find things, I told you guys that I found a little bit of my lineage. So I'm half Scottish. And I asked, I just had this idea that, like, hey, is my lineage, were we a part of the Jacobites, who were one of the people, one of the groups that were trying to install their king over in Britain, and they failed to do it. And when they failed to do it, my clan got stomped, maybe even the most. So this is an image of the destroyed castle that supposedly one of the British ships came up and just like hit it a few times with a gun after the leader of the clan died in war, died in battle. So
Is this anywhere around the time of Cornwall?
yes, no, Cornwall's later on. It was Cromwell. Yeah,
Cromwell.
yeah.
Cromwell. Is that like 1200 or is that?
No, I think it was in the 1700s that my ancestor died in the battle, and then the Jacobites were squashed.
Yeah, they sound familiar. I think I got some Irish and some Welsh in me.
But I just wanted to like point this out that, I give it my last name, it starts giving me information about, an origin name, and then I say like, hey, did we ever have a castle? And it's like, yeah, you had a castle. Here's the castle on this certain lock. It's castle name is after our last name. And then so one of those images is from the portal, from the wall of the castle, and then of course the other image is basically what the ship would have seen whenever it's sitting there blasting the castle because it's so close to the water. But that water leads on out, sort of like what we would expect up in Finland, Norway, or actually Norway, where there's just these narrow channels. So that's what this is it's coming from the sea. So that is salt water there. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, that's a nice foundation.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
gonna study the
surprised that there's nothing around it there. Looks like it's pretty remote, and I didn't think, was that Scotland? I guess I didn't think Scotland was that big. I'm not a fucking geographer. In Scotland, the only problem wrong with Scotland is it's full of a bunch of Scots. What's the line? Isn't Scotland like north of England? It's like on the same continent.
Yeah, here's the
Yeah. It's basic. It's like the same island-ish thing.
So Edinburgh, and Glasgow.
Yeah.
And those are only like 40 miles apart, 30 miles apart. And then the rest of these highlands,
Oh, the Highlands.
they have the little channels.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go up in there. So I can imagine a lot of these guys are pretty remote. And then here's your municipalities, your big ones.
Nice. I only know Glasgow from Ed Sheeran song. Glasgow Girl. Supposedly it's pretty rough up in Glasgow. At least from the song. But yeah, it's a nice remote little inlet.
Crypto Truth, I'm gonna go visit my ancestors' stomping grounds. I'm not gonna move to the UK. No way.
It's close to the North Pole.
I was going to say rather complete what your ancestor had started. Dethrone the current king should be your objective. Like, that's a different thing altogether. Like, I would personally support it. Like, fuck the king.
Yeah.
Death to the king, I would say.
Yeah, that's like that's
that's
brave
the
part.
Indian. Sorry. That's the Indian genes in me that come up like every time that happens. Anyways, we have reached the 1 hour mark. We might think of ending it. I'm thinking of ending it, or we can continue if you want. It's kind of rude to point out it's 1 hour, but we have kind of we are running out of things to say anyways. So
I wanted
let's
to show
just
this
end it.
awesome steak and tomato picture that Juan had put in the chat, but I'm not finding an easy way to do that. So why don't I just do this? Hey, look, there's some awesome steak right there. And some tomatoes. If I click on it, it's not going to show up. Anyway. I thought that was cool.
Not steak tomatoes, but steak and tomatoes.
Sign us off.
I don't like. Hey, that's it. See you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Ta-da.
The vision is to create the dream community, a retreat center, eco-village, sports facility, festival ground, to just really create the most beautiful place on earth.
So I'm taking on my biggest project ever, and I'm looking for the right people to embark on this journey with me. Thus far, I've been investing the amount of resources I have into this, And together with a small team of dedicated people, we've been able to get water access, electricity is being set up, and the first bungalow is due to be finished in a couple of weeks. And that's just the beginning. And Zanzibar is the perfect place to do this. Both because it's the most stunningly wonderful tropical exotic paradise, but also because there's so much potential to help the local community who are craving to enjoy the same opportunity as the rest of the world. Like proper co-working spaces with computers connected to the internet, professional sports talent development centers, a proper waste management system. There will be retreats, workshops of different kinds, movie theater, lookout tower, basketball court, tennis court, football court, and natural coral rock pools, sustainable agriculture, music studio, podcasting studio, acrobatic park, yoga platforms. You know, a place to develop talent and creativity in all shapes and forms, in a free place in the middle of nature, in tune with earth, you know, as it should be. It's about giving value, it's about seeing the value we all inhabit, and it's about creating a new beginning in a society where we've forgotten who we are. I believe the future is held by those who come together in love, who understand that we are so connected, that we ultimately are one, and create from there, from the grassroots, where we have decided our own rules.